We do have a quorum with myself and the two commissioners, so we can proceed with the meeting. Commissioners that are present, have you had a chance to review the minutes? I was absent from the last meeting.
Yes.
Do you have any suggested changes or additions?
No.
No.
So I make a motion that the minutes be accepted as written.
I'll second.
All those in favor? Showing no opposed. I swear, I think my signature gets worse every day.
Oh, when you're cold.
We're gonna go right on into our financial report.
All right, bank balances. In our checking account, we have $16,882. General savings, $162,313. Road fund, $65,559. Park money market, $176,899. Transfers, we need to transfer $16,000 from the general savings to the checking to cover the upcoming month's expenses. We also need to transfer $1,853.60 from the road fund to the checking to reimburse for the snow removal bill. We have 4 homeowners with delinquent 2025 taxes totaling $2,408, and 1 homeowner owing 2024 and 2025 taxes totaling $2,387. Again, our checking account balance is $16,882. Our anticipated need for upcoming bills is $27,800. The reserve amount is $5,000. So the transfer amount is $16,000. So I make a motion to transfer $16,000 from the money market savings to the checking to cover the upcoming bills.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Then I make a motion. To transfer $1,853.60 for snow removal expense. So we need to transfer from the road fund to the checking account. Do I have a
I'll
second? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
All right. Bonnie?
Well, I was not at the Christmas event, Mr. and Mrs. Santa Saturday, but I hear it went well, so that's a good thing. The only other thing left for this month is house decorating, and we will be judging that the last week or the week of Christmas. So that, and we have a couple trophies already. They were dropped off to my house.
They were? Okay, good. Because she texted me and I didn't see it until, and then I haven't
Her
texted her
cousin
back.
dropped them off. We have
Yeah,
trophies
trophies.
that we're gonna give out.
yeah.
And we have yard signs as
Because
well.
they did such a good job on the chili cook-off trophies.
Mhm, yeah, they're very good.
Yeah, they did a really good job. They're residents here. I like that. But they're very nice and they'll make that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, very good. So that's all I have.
Okay. You're on deck.
Yeah, all right. Pardon my tardiness. So I finally got a hold of Officer Grider up here at the 7th Division.
Kudos to you.
Yeah, he's very hard. He said he has at least 4 of those radar machines, and it wouldn't cost us a thing.
We're just gonna light the neighborhood up with them.
I asked for at least 2,
Mhm.
but he told me we could have 1 and he could check. I'm hoping to get those or that one installed this week before he takes off on vacation.
And they're solar, right?
Solar. But now we're going back and forth and me trying to get back in touch with it. Cross Creek is our first pick, and then the one on the backside.
Hollow Tree.
Hollow Tree would be the second.
I
So
think that Creekstone is gonna be too shaded.
is that the one?
Yeah. I think it's gonna be too shaded.
Not in the winter.
Downs branches. they lost
Creekstone is
speed.
still pretty shaded.
I was
The
I know we have
snow
lots
won't,
of
we have a hard time getting the
so
snow to melt.
that back one has 1 speed bump, so that allows people to speed But it still wouldn't take away from our police we have patrol.
Right.
That's just an added measure we've been trying to get. As far as offenses reported by our city to them, there weren't any this past month. Now, I met with Sheepdog Securities today, and he told me there's approximately 11 or 12 citations that's been written this month, and we're not even finished. I told him to keep up the good work. I asked him if he needed anything further from the city.
Right.
He said that he's doing okay. He's aware of all the complaints on him.
Mhm.
And they take that up with their supervisor kind of thing. It's not on us, but.
Right, they handle, that's a personnel issue.
Did you say what the tickets, most of the tickets are for? Or?
Speeding and disregard of stop signs. I guess just to let everybody aware that he is able to write tickets and has if you're parked on the street in the wrong facing direction.
Oh,
So when
good.
we see him having a citation that is parking related.
That's what it'll be,
If it's not at the school
right,
park,
at the
right?
school.
It's something like that. So the rear tail lights create a reflection. So
Yes,
when you park with traffic, the people driving can see that. If you park the opposite way, headlights do not
right. Reflect.
Right? They're meant to project.
Mhm.
With the snow and all that, it's a hazard. So he doesn't want to do that, but seeing that cars are constantly doing it, he has done it.
Oh, good. I'm
So-
glad to hear that.
He's very he keeps me informed. Communication's great.
Good.
I have no issues.
I'm really glad to hear that.
Has it been getting better at Lure or?
Yeah, so he said they park there, but when he shows up, they kind of disperse. Initially, he had a huge problem with people not wanting to move at all because they live here. But I think he's kind of got that sorted out. Hopefully, he said it's doing much better.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's all I have.
Well, I'm going to follow up on that note a little bit. I wasn't at the last meeting. And so following the feedback that I got from the last meeting, I did a little bit of investigating on my own and went and talked to some of the neighbors up there. And it is a problem. The neighbors have not consented for people to park in their driveways, for people to park in their yards. It is still a problem. I made a point to be up there when school was getting out and a bus was trying to get through. And people are very disrespectful. Kids are darting. The school crossing guard's responsibility is to get them across the street. That's it. To give a little bit of a background, we have had 2 children in the history of Hollow Creek that have been left up there. That's where their parents came to get them. And when the parents were not there, then the children were just there on 2 different occasions. That creates a problem. Okay. Now, parents get stuck in traffic, parents get hung up with an emergency, whatever the case may be. When these kids are at school being dispersed through the carpool line and there's not a parent there to pick them up, they can go back into that school. They cannot go back across the street. The crossing guard does not allow that. Once they've crossed that street safely, they're done. So I observed that it was still a problem. Okay. I know at the last meeting that we had requests to revisit the no parking ordinance. I'm not in favor of that because it is still a problem. I had a commissioner who's not here tonight, but did give me permission to say that he also went up and observed on his own following the last meeting because he doesn't have a child that's participating. He hasn't been up and said, in his words, it was chaos. It wasn't good. So I think we stand firm on the way it's been. There is a safe mechanism for parents to pick up their children. They need to take the time to get in the carpool line or make other arrangements. It is, and I had the school crossing guard told me it's a matter of time before a kid gets hit up here. It's a matter of time before they're darting between cars. There's a resident that constantly parks their car there. And she said it is a matter of time before we have another child hit. And, you know, I said, thank you very much for your input and your safety. And so, and I did talk to the supervisor for Jefferson County Police who are over all the guards. And they said that this is one of the biggest complaints that they get countywide is people wanting to forego the carpool line and park on neighboring streets and different things. And they feel that it is a safety issue as well. So with that being said, commissioners, I think that we need to not revisit our parking ordinance and keep it as stands. So, but that's just my forethought on that. And I did have another conversation with a county judge, circuit court judge, regarding the citations that were issued at our last meeting. And a police officer that writes a ticket for a known violation cannot go into a court and withdraw that ticket. Once that ticket is written, the ticket is written. The person receiving the ticket does have the ability to disagree with the ticket and challenge that. However, when I mentioned who our security company was, they said, oh, well, they're on body cam. So when they do go to court to fight a citation that they've received with one of the police officers from our security company, they will have the body cam footage. So that was another thing that reputation, that the judges know that reputation of our security carrier. So that was very nice to hear that they said, rarely do we ever get any encounter. And once the body cam is introduced, there's never been one overturned. So they said, you have a good group of officers out there that uphold the law and do it in a respectful manner, is what the judge said to me. She said, you know, it was, you have a good company. So that was good to hear. So that's what I have on your follow-up from last meeting. You want to revisit the garden issue?
Yes, I spoke to, emailed our insurance girl, commercial girl, about the garden, and there is a concern for if somebody was out there on the property and someone got hurt, we would be liable. If somebody tripped, fell, got injured with a tool, whatever, we could be sued. So
That's yeah, we don't need any more liability. I'm curious as to how it would be maintained. Who's going to be responsible for cleanup? Who's going to be responsible? I mean, I guess my whole thing is as we all know, everybody's idea of tidy is different. And while I support and understand the idea, in places where they have the community gardens, most of those are Jefferson County based. Jefferson County has deeper pockets than we do. I think that this is going to require some additional forethought and understanding. I think it's expensive for Louisville Water to come out and set a meter. Don't have that exact cost, but I can get that. But that is something that we would need. And then somebody said to me, well, what do you do when somebody takes my tomatoes? Or what do you do when somebody takes my cucumbers? Or what? And I'm like, I don't know. I'm not going to be the garden police. I'm just not going to be that. I'm not the trash can police. So, you know, I think there needs to be a little bit more discussion on that. You know, I don't think, I can't just say roll with it right yet. If you all understand that. Do you support that? Okay, good. Good. Okay. Does anybody have any other new business than what I have?
I do not.
We don't know. We'd like for you to find it. Please. There's a beeping. If you all haven't heard it, there's an echo of a beep.
I hear it.
Okay, and we could find, so Joe just goes to yours.
Yeah.
Yes, we do. I don't know if it's a smoke
It's just a
detector
ring in my
somewhere
ears
or
all
what,
the time.
but it's driving me insane. So, shocking, we have yet another liquor store application. I know,
Seems like-
shocking. It's at the JP Market right there. Do you know where the Pizza Hut is on Outer Loop? And there's that strip mall where Little Caesars used to be. Okay. That little store that sits right on the corner. They had a petition for a liquor store before and then withdrew it when the liquor store got up over there where Burger King is. Okay. And now they have put it back in. And that's what these are. Okay. I have letters that I've written. I forgot to mail them on Saturday, but I also emailed a copy of my letter. There's email addresses on here now. And they both acknowledged that they received them. So maybe they're getting with the times, realizing that our mail is quite slow and things aren't making it there by the deadline. So, hey guys, let's fill their mailbox up with an email. If you oppose this liquor store, I counted and I forgot the Kroger that just opened on Beulah Church has liquor. So there are like 9 liquor stores that if you wanted to walk to, you could walk to them. We just really don't need another one. You know, could I get maybe a,
That's addition to the restaurants.
that's addition to the restaurants, that's addition to the Circle K and the Speedway that also sell beer and malt-based alcohol products. I am not against alcohol. I am against having a liquor store. We're going to have more liquor stores than we do churches and schools. And you know, we don't even have a library, you know? So I'm not going to get on a soapbox here. I understand liquor stores are, you know, an independent business and this and that, but we've got enough. You know, we don't need any more. That's just not something else we want. Give me a sit down restaurant, you know, give me some place where we can go and have a decent dinner that doesn't have a drive through. So
Have you heard any more about that place up here on Big Bush Lane?
they have
It used to be
gambling
Cadillac.
machines.
It's gambling.
It's gambling. They are trying to catch them. We're talking about the A to Z Mart now. Up here, that used to be Cadillacs. They have gambling machines in the back. So if you go by there after 6 or 7 o'clock when they think that, you know, the ABC's off work, but they're not, the parking lot is packed, especially on a Saturday night. So it has been reported.
I heard they were being watched, so I didn't
Yeah,
know.
yes, they are being very close attention is being paid to them. So, but back to if you get a chance and you do oppose the liquor store, if you would drop an email, that would be greatly appreciated. Okay, so I responded on behalf of the city. So, yep. Do we have any other new business?
I guess I should post this on Facebook as well.
Yes, please. Yes, please. Does anybody have any questions?
I know now with the trying to force the parking on the corner there.
It's
that they're
coming back to your
moving-
court.
they're moving down further down the street. I don't know if you've noticed that.
Yeah,
You know,
it's,
like,
I walk, so it doesn't
yeah,
impact
she's
me
noticed
so
that.
much, but it's just dispersed. But I do know some people who have spoken with residents and gotten permission to park in their driveway, for example, and I don't see a problem there, but is
Well,
anybody?
this wasn't a driveway. It was just in front of the corner house.
Yeah.
Where the 2 little girls live. But,
Yeah, I don't know if they've talked to their dad and mom,
Oh,
because
but
they walk with
they
their
were
kids,
parking
but.
back there, and I see that all the time because I come in and out. I
Mhm.
lived in the first court there. And I didn't know if it was any better or not. I know one day that officer was there and I went up and talked to him. He was a nice gentleman. But anyway, I haven't noticed whether it's gotten any better or not. You do every day
I
because you
so
walk.
like from a personal standpoint, from a person who's walking with their child to and from school, the cars are not an issue to me. I understand that if it's posted that people shouldn't park there without expecting a ticket, and that makes sense to me too. Because
there's a sidewalk part of the way there.
there are sidewalks
Is there sidewalk
all
on
of the way on that first street. When I turn
Yeah.
left to head home,
There's
I
not.
can't continue
Yeah.
on a sidewalk,
Right.
but I just cross the street and then walk.
Yeah.
So the cars don't pose a threat to me or my child because I'm walking up
Right.
there to pick her up.
You're paying
I
attention to your
see
child.
where it could seem chaotic if there are people that aren't there to meet their children, but that's like a separate issue that I don't think would be mitigated by not having cars around. Because if people aren't there to retrieve their children and they're above a certain age, those kids are walking alone then. So I don't know I don't know what
These were small
relation
children
they
that were
have.
left here.
Yeah, so there is a teacher who walks them out of the school and can't let them cross Fagan Bush unless they see their family member or person who's there to pick them up. So there shouldn't, in theory, in practice, be any children under, I don't know if it's first grade, do you know?
Yeah.
It's first? Probably.
I just know that they don't let anyone cross
Yeah.
unless someone's there.
See,
Right.
and the
My child's
principal,
in 4th grade, and they would not let her cross unless she sees
Unless
me.
it's, okay.
She thought she didn't see me one day, but I was there.
Okay.
They weren't gonna let her cross.
Maybe it's all ages then, because I know that they hold hands with like the kinder and the first grade, the littles, or anybody who needs a little bit of extra direction. But I didn't know if
Yes. the
at
kids
our old
really
school it was
aren't
different.
all crazy out there. They're going I'm there every single day.
Mhm.
They're going exactly where they need to go, and then no one's in the road. I don't think that the morning when people are allowed to park there for less than 5 minutes in the evening are that much different.
well, they're not really supposed to be parking there in the morning either, but can I ask why you don't get the carpool line?
My child's not a car rider.
But you're stopping up here to pick them up?
I have places to be.
Have you ever seen the carpool line for little?
Yeah.
It goes
Have you
way-
ever sat in the
it goes
carpool
all-
line at St. Bernard? And you sat there until the very last child came out of school?
I don't know
and
about St.
then-
Bernard.
And then you were dismissed?
Do you
You
know?
did not put your car in reverse. You did not pull away until you were dismissed. You were lined up in rows and you sat there.
No, it can go all the way
And-
around Green Manor.
I did it every day with my child and sat there. So,
Do you
yeah,
know how long the parents are sitting across from the school?
doesn't matter
Why doesn't that matter?
because it only takes a split second for a child to get hit.
Here's where the issue is with that. Whether we were parking there or not, those children still have to cross the street because they are
Not all of
minors.
them.
Many of them. They still have to cross the street. And you don't have to be condescending with your
I'm not.
I don't think you see it. Anyways,
It's your opinion.
made me forget what I was saying. Anyways,
You were saying that the kids are gonna cross the street.
yes,
That are crossing
many
the
of the
street,
children
they're
cross the
walking
street
anyways.
regardless. So that also doesn't make very much of a difference. There has been a child that has been hit there before a year or two ago. But that had nothing to do with parents or whatever. The crossing guard was not even there, and that was a bus. Also,
You're breaking up the amount of time.
oh yes, we were there maybe 10 minutes, literally entirely. And as someone who parks there or was parking there, I have video and photo proof of where everyone parks. There's no one blocking traffic. I have not seen before this little thing was put into place or being pressed, anyone parking in anyone's driveways. Everyone was out of the way. I have video proof of big vehicles coming through next to our cars with no issues. So I'm not saying that you are like lying or being dishonest, but I am not sure what eyeballs you're looking at it with. Not that proof matters at all.
Well, it's a one lane road, so if there's a car sitting there, how can a big bus, I don't understand how you can say that another car or a big bus could get through.
I've watched.
But it's a one-lane road.
Because you're on the side, you're not in the middle of the road.
No, I know, but it's a one-lane road. And unless you're parking in someone's grass or in our median, and you park.
They are tearing up the median.
So fix it. I don't know.
But from a
How do we
different
fix it when you
standpoint,
continue to park there?
somebody
No one's
who
parking.
rides on
They
an
are
emergency
parking.
vehicle, it would be nearly impossible to get to anywhere in an emergency with cars parked there. Like, I would have to wait for you to move.
We're there
And
for
then-
5
and then you
minutes in the
move.
evening and 5 minutes in the morning.
I understand, but like, emergency vehicles have precedent over people parking there, but
Yes,
if,
of
So there's
course.
not
And those
parking
people would
allowed
live.
there at all.
if there's
usually.
signs that say no
But I'm saying
parking,
like you can't park there any other time either. Like you can't park there at like 10 a.m.
is there a time?
There is
on
a time.
There is a
There's
time on there.
It's 4 to 5,
So
it's-
specifically the time
Yeah.
that.
School is
like,
getting
if
out.
parking's allowed, then like that means that the emergency vehicle should be able to get there. I'm not trying to argue at all about
Yeah.
that because I don't have a kid there at all, so I don't care so much. But I guess if people can get through at the other, if emergency vehicles could get through with cars parked at like 10 a.m. on a Saturday, then they could get through at 3:30 or 4 on a Thursday.
Sure,
If people
But
are parking in a
at that
respectful
time
manner.
frame, there are way more vehicles than someone who would just be visiting a neighbor, one or two, rather than 5, 6, 7, 8. I've seen it a couple times. I sit in the carpool line not there, but somewhere else. I know it's an inconvenience, but like these things are put in place for safety. It's much bigger than us as residents and us as board members. It's not to make anyone at a disadvantage or feel like they can't do what they want to do here. This is just a safety thing that was put in place before I joined here. And I have to agree with it. Like, I walk often with my kids and it becomes chaos. That's a good word for it. I just don't want to see anybody hit, any cars hit, any neighbors living there
And we-
upset.
We do
'cause get
continue to
calls
get
all the
complaints and calls and emails of the residents complaining about the parking, people parking in front of their house. People, I can't get out of my driveway. I can't,
They send us pictures and
They-
emails of
they
people
do.
who are parking there.
they
So
do.
this is something we fought with for a long time, having a police agency telling them about it and them virtually not doing anything. So we're listening to you all, maybe not specifically you all, but everybody who lives here, and we're making adjustments. And now that those adjustments are happening, we're having people who don't like that, so it's,
I've been informed by many people that there have been parents of children at Lure that have parked there for literally like 30 years. And it may be an issue here and there, but I don't think truthfully that there are that many people complaining about the two driveways that are blocked. They're not blocked, mind you.
Well, the decision has been made by the persons that voted for that ordinance. And I believe everyone that's currently on the commission, including myself, supports it as it stands. And we have to take the account for the safety personnel that we've spoken with, the residents that live in the area that are complaining, and stand by the ordinance as it's written. And I understand you said fix the median. That's additional cost. We're constantly repairing the median. We had to repair a yard one time because of parents parking in it. So I do support the ordinance as it is written. That, I understand everybody's lives are busy and you have things to do and places to be. I made the adjustment and sat in a carpool line with my child. I took that as turn the radio off and have conversation with my child. Walk home with your child. But the commissioners and the residents in that area have spoken, and they do not want the parking there. And we have an ordinance in place for that. For many years, we had police protection that did not enforce it, and the complaints became overwhelming, and we now have a service that is enforcing it, and they're doing so with our blessings. So it stands as it is currently. Does anyone have anything else that they'd like to address?
I also have a question about who decides what in the neighborhood is unappealing to their eye.
Well, we have a code enforcement officer, and unappealing is not enforceable, I guess you could say. It would have to be something that is in the code enforcement rules and regulations through Metro or through our ordinances that is unlawful. Can you give me an example?
Both us and our neighbor got things in the mail about stumps in our yard.
Yes, stumps, that's a Metro issue. Stumps just above the ground when you cut a tree off and they leave it so high. Unless that stump is carved into something like the eagle up here, just to leave it, it is determined that that is lack of yard maintenance. So, yes,
Well,
Metro does address that as lack of yard maintenance.
I contacted them and asked for specific ordinance and citation and everything else, and they basically told me it was unenforceable.
Well, because they don't have anybody to enforce it, but we do have a code enforcement
I
officer.
talked to him as well.
Well, he's the one writing the citation, so he's enforcing it.
We were given 60 days to remove it in the middle of winter when the ground is frozen.
That is something that can be worked with on you. Common sense has to come into play. You're not going to get someone out there to remove a stump with the ground frozen.
I also have a slight issue with, we removed those 2 trees ourselves because we could not afford to have someone come in and remove them. We also could not afford to have someone come in and remove the 2 stumps.
Can you cut the stumps down to ground level?
Probably.
Sure.
There you go.
Okay, no one will come and
No,
try to.
cut it down to ground level. Cut it down to where you can just run right over it with a lawnmower or whatever. You just cut it down as low as you can. I also know that there are some things online, I don't know that they're tried and true, that you can drill holes in a stump and it will deteriorate it.
You can.
I can't do that.
Okay.
I've done that.
So cut it down as far as you can cut it down, and then you drill the holes in, and it's a
High
It takes-
nitrogen fertilizer holding it too.
I knew you would know. I know, but I knew you would know.
The other thing I've done, I've even landscaped around them. You could set some nice containers on them. Use
But-
them.
I would do that if they.
My, our neighbor who also got the same citation, she wanted to keep hers for safety concerns because she's right at the corner. So she
Yeah,
had
that's not
people-
an appropriate safety barrier.
Well, she was telling us she's had people slide into her yard in the winter. She used to have a tree there, but it died or
Yeah.
whatever. She
Yeah,
had to
that
take it
does not meet a good definition of a safety barrier. I would differ on that. And if it's the same lady that called and spoke with me about it,
down.
I don't know either, but I got a different story than what you got. So,
I'm not sure it would be. the
yeah,
same lady.
I'm not sure
She
either.
said that she hasn't heard back from anyone.
This
She-
lady,
She emailed.
she has talked to me and emailed and even spoken with our landscaping company that we use in the city about removal. So if it's the same, if we're talking about the same resident, and
I
I'm
don't know.
I'm not gonna, give out an address or anything, but we don't have that many in the neighborhood.
Right.
But yeah, that was never brought up in the conversation.
Okay.
So, yeah,
I just figured I'd.
yeah, I appreciate that, but yeah, that was never brought up in the conversation. Yeah. Very close to the office here.
Yeah, pretty close.
Yeah. Does anybody have anything else?
I wanted to get a clarification on what Joe said about, because you know where I live on the court, we have a little circle, and a lot of times, we pull out and we park in the wrong direction. Are you saying we will get a ticket
You
for
can get
that?
a ticket for that now.
So, okay, because I've always done it, but I need to just park on the other side with the traffic flow. correct?
Yes, yes, that's exactly.
And that's a safety issue because at some point you have to cross over. Now I understand you're backing out of your driveway either way and making that happen. But we had this come up on several years ago when we had our own police department and we were giving out tickets for that. And the justification is at some point you're crossing over. You may be looking and there's nobody coming, but at some point you're crossing over. And that's why you have to park in the direction of traffic. I wasn't aware of the tail light reflection, but that makes perfect sense.
I assume that these police officers give you guys like a schedule that they've been working. Like
We do get a schedule.
Can we have those?
No, you cannot.
Well, I'm not asking for avoidance reasons or anything, but I haven't seen anybody in like a
Well,
month.
I have seen them. And Joe does keep up with that schedule. But in the event of an emergency, do not rely on us having someone on duty. Call 911. In the event of an emergency, call 911. Do not call the office. Do not try to reach one of us. In an emergency, please call 911. Because even if we have someone on, it is LMPD's responsibility to respond to an emergency. Yeah. But yes, I understand what you're saying, but we have, Joe can tell you, he has more oversight and accountability with this than you've had in the past. Am I correct in saying that?
In the last 2 months, it's been better than the last 2 years.
Yeah, but I agree with you and understand. The difference is we're not seeing them at 2:00 on a Sunday afternoon.
Right. Well, I wouldn't know. I get up really early and I work sometimes 12-hour days. I get home really late. So
Well, but you still care about the security of your home and your family.
Right. But so just generally, I'm like, I don't know when anyone's here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And they do that on part. We do that. He schedules that on purpose so that, as you know, we've had some car break-ins. And we tried to share an email that we received from St. Matthews where they have also had a rash of car break-ins. And we couldn't get it to snap and post and copy and all that. But, ultimately it said, remove any valuables from your vehicle. When at all possible, do not park on the street. Make sure your vehicle is locked at all times. Light your house up. Turn on, I understand LG&E is expensive, but turn on all your exterior lights that you can.
Just gonna say, I have dawn to dusk, if people don't know these exist, I have
Oh, they're
dawn to
fantastic.
dusk LED light bulbs, exterior ones, and they're perfect, because as soon as the sun goes down, those lights come on, as long as your inside light is on to power it, they come on as soon as it gets to be dark, and those are so valuable, and they're not costing, they're costing pennies a year, so it's a really
Yeah.
good thing to invest in.
Yes, ma'am.
I know at the last meeting, part of the concern was if the contractors that we are paying are here during the times when we feel most needed, which is overnight. Is there a certain amount of hours that they're telling you that they're patrolling in the overnight hours or early morning hours? Or is it just you get a set amount of hours per month?
Joe has some oversight on that.
Yeah.
So he can say, especially with school out and over the next few weeks, they will be adjusting their hours for more of that. But he does have some oversight in that, where in the past, there was a block of hours and then whatever officer wanted to sign up to work that shift did so. With this company, we can say, hey, we're seeing this, can you adjust? Okay. Currently, they are spending a lot of time up at Lure, with the parking, because that's where we're getting the most complaints. And we still get those calls and we still get those emails. And they're not only from people that live right there, but they're from people that are trying to pull in or pull out. Delivery vehicles have an issue. Amazon was trying to deliver and said the lady said there was nowhere for him to park, so I didn't get my Amazon package. Now I have to wait another 24 hours or so to get my package. So, that's an issue. So they have been concentrating on that.
I can tell you here lately, his block, or him and his guys, have been about 5 hours a day. There are some times where he'll do 3 hours, leave, and he'll come back for another 2. And every single time he'll text me, whether it's him doing it or his other guys, checking in, checking out, have to do this, came back, I'd say about 5 hours is his blocks.
Okay.
Yeah, much.
I don't want to know when they're here and when they're not. I don't care. I just, like, if anything, it would make me feel better to know that, like, at least a fair percentage of the time somebody's doing a loop around the neighborhood or just making sure. Because I don't live on Creekstone or any place that sees that, persistent speeding that is a threat to kids playing in the road. But I do live on Downs Branch and people do speed by.
Yes, they do.
And it's also, I just want to make sure that everybody's, like, I care about the people
Well,
that I
but
live around. I want to make sure everybody's property and kids are
But the
safe.
entire neighborhood,
Yeah.
the entire city is getting what we pay for.
Yeah. And
No.
I understand that if the current issue is up by the school, that's eating up quite a few hours. But I think that a little bit of the concern that people had voiced last time was that the nighttime isn't falling by the wayside.
Sure. Yeah.
But yeah, as long as you get to see how many hours they're doing at night too, then I trust your judgment.
How's your street?
Mine,
Yeah. You had
in
the
what
break in, right?
regard? Because
You had the
speeding,
break in?
we've had break-ins and speeding, just like that's the normal way of life, I think,
This
which is
Creekstone?
unfortunate.
yeah.
Creekstone.
I know you said that you hadn't seen anybody patrolling. You had cameras pointing toward the street, and I didn't know if you had.
No, that was the other
That was
one.
another one?
Yeah,
I'm so
I
sorry.
didn't say that, but
Yeah.
I actually haven't.
that's okay.
I could have said that, but I didn't say that.
Oh,
I haven't voiced that, but it is, I'm out quite a lot. I'm running, I've passed you driving, like I run and walk the neighborhood quite a lot and play Pokemon Go. But so if you see me like this, that's probably what I'm doing. So I haven't seen anyone. I don't know if they're in unmarked vehicles.
No, they're in marked vehicles.
Okay, well, I mean, that's good to know. But
Yeah.
Hollow Tree I'm on the section where we get speeding and break-ins
Yeah.
and the car break-ins. So
So you're on the dead end side of Hollow Tree,
I'm on the open side.
the open side of
Yeah,
Hollow
because
Tree.
people are cutting through.
They're cutting through.
You know.
Yeah. And I did talk about, we had the request, not last meeting because I wasn't here, but the meeting before, about closing that entrance. And that is something that we can do. I would prefer to have a large support before we do that.
I think, I don't mean to interrupt you, but
No,
I
you're
do
fine.
think the neighbors that I know would be all for that. And I'm pretty close to most of the people on my street, and I think
The Hurstbourne, the Hollow Tree, the dead end part that goes out to Hurstbourne
Over
Lane.
next to the apartment
Yeah.
complex?
yeah, exactly.
No, that's the way I usually.
Yeah. I wouldn't.
Well, I mean, I use it too.
I was just recalculating,
I mean,
but yeah.
I use it too. I'm going to be honest with you, but I also use Cedar Creek as well. So, I mean, we have 7 entrances in and out of the city, and so there are quite a few. But that one seems to be it's really opened us up exposure wise, if that makes sense.
And I moved in right before the speed bumps or speed humps were installed, and right after it was opened. So I always tell my neighbors, like, it's not us.
Yeah.
The break-in, the increase in, it's not our family, I'm sorry, because it kind of coincides.
Come on, Kristen.
Yeah. We also had some interest a couple of meetings ago about a neighborhood watch. And that is something that we can start, and that is free training through Metro Louisville. But that is something that we cannot oversee. It would be something that is completely neighborhood ran and overseen. But that is something that can be done.
Do we just do that on our own? How does
Well,
that work?
you organize that. They give you the tools to help organize that,
Okay.
and then they will help train all participants. So if it's something that you're interested in, while Joe is reaching out to his contact,
These hard individuals.
yes, ma'am,
If we did that and did the training, could we have the training in City Hall?
yes.
Okay.
With one of us here, yes, you could. That would be no problem. That is a neighborhood-based sponsored event. So yes,
Okay.
that would be definitely something that could be done here.
We would look into where the beef is coming from as well.
Please.
Do you hear it?
I think it's-
Accepted.
Is that plugged in? I'm thinking
It sounds, is there like a
I
sewage
went
detector in the
downstairs.
basement?
I checked the cellar, it's
Okay.
not down there, yeah.
I don't know where, but it is.
I wish I can't hear it.
Oh, you can. Oh, yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, that's good
Ghost
because I can hear it. Yeah. So
Yeah.
Going
in different directions to me. It's coming.
I hear it coming from like back there or downstairs.
Well, last week, our car could have gotten broken into. We heard the car alarm go off. It was about 3 a.m. And so my husband happened to still be in the living room. And so he flipped on the porch lights and whatever it was, left. So, thank God for the car beeping.
yeah.
So,
Well, and they said
foot traffic.
we've had a whole lot.
Hollow Tree area down Switchback towards Cedar Creek subdivision lately.
Mm-hmm.
I
And
mean, just a lot of random people, but we park in the garage. So.
we're in the back, and I have a
I think the
Power
park is
gate.
back there of open.
that you
I
can't
think
push
so.
our gate open. It's remote.
Because I know just about everybody that walks our street.
We've had a lot of people that I'm like, I don't know if I've seen them before. But please, the best thing is to lock your vehicles and don't leave anything valuable in them. If you take away their resources, they're not going to come. It's a waste of their time. We're never going to stop somebody from rummaging through an unlocked car. And LMPD will tell you they don't even consider that a break-in if the vehicle was unlocked. I did hear something interesting on the news the other night that when they're, I guess it's still called hot wiring a car, for some reason when they're doing that with the USB and stuff, the flashers come on the car. So if you see somebody in your neighbor's driveway and their flashers are on, then that more than likely is the scene of a break-in. They're trying to steal that car. So go ahead immediately and call 911 and tell them that. That's different than if somebody is remote starting. They said it's actual, the flashers are on. So, yes, ma'am.
And just a quick question as far as deterrent is concerned about neighborhood watch. Do you all happen to know, you may not, but do you happen to know if we started a neighborhood watch, would we have signs? Because I feel like
Sure.
that
Yeah.
could be a
Sure.
We can get some.
Yeah.
We can get signs.
That's just, I think that could be an additional layer
Yeah.
of deterrence.
Yeah. I mean, I'm all for anything we can do to say you're not welcome here. If you're up to no good, if you're up to mischief, go elsewhere. We don't want you. But we've got to take away any reward that they have finding in that unlocked vehicle or, the bicycle that's left sitting out front. Or now, I'm not going to say, I believe in my heart that you should be able to leave whatever you want out in your car or wherever and nobody bother it. But unfortunately, that's not the world we live in. And that's sad. But if we take away the opportunity, they'll find somewhere else to go. Does anybody have anything else?
I want to bring up about streetlights.
Yes, ma'am. We've got several that are out.
Has anyone
And broken.
reported? I'm going to try to.
Well,
the app.
yes.
And,
yes. And hopefully I have reported the ones in the park now.
They fixed them.
They did, because
They're
yesterday they
fixed.
hadn't.
I don't think.
They are
I
fixed.
think they're
Oh,
not.
good, good.
Is it the LG&E app that you can
Yes,
use to report it?
yes,
Okay.
yes.
There's one
And you
right
have to
now.
have,
You've got 2 of them.
Yeah.
I mean, you're
Mine
Yeah.
is not working.
I reported, it was 5 times I reported the ones in the
2 or
park that were
3.
out. Now there's one close to you that's blinking.
Well, some of them, the globes are broken.
Right. Well, the one down in the park, the globe was really broken. And then they had another one that was leaning, so it was just going to melt,
Yeah.
But
So-
those were fixed this morning when I came.
Okay,
in.
good. Because I didn't look when I came in, but yesterday when I came in, I looked and it wasn't. But anybody can report those. You're more than welcome to. If you do that, email us and let us know that you reported it. Because then if we have to report it again, we can say second time or third time or, that is a service. We lease those poles from LG&E. And they have a subcontractor that comes out and does the maintenance and repair on them. So that's not something that we do. Yeah. So,
Is everybody aware that Councilman Hudson is up there at the government center the second Monday
is it the second Monday?
or something?
He has open hours. I think it's in his newsletter. And if you don't get
Yeah.
Councilman Hudson's newsletter, you should, because it is full of information. And that's where I got the information on the liquor store that's trying to, petition again. So if you don't, he is our Metro Council person. He did come and judge our chili cook-off. Bless you. And,
I know him personally. I was like, who's Councilman? Mr. Bergman.
well, he's a really nice resource to have. He's a very, very nice man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's my friend's dad.
Oh, okay. So see, there you go. But yeah, sign up for his newsletter because he is, and he's always very supportive of the commissioners and myself and the needs of the city. So he is really, really a very nice man, and he does have, he does listen. Some things he can't do anything about, but there are some things that he has been helpful with, and can help us with. Yeah. So. Yeah, if you don't get his newsletter, please sign up for it. And then if we don't have your email address and contact information, please share that with us, because we just had a situation a few months ago where a dog was out and Linda had to play detective, and we were finally able to find a phone number for the person and let them know that their dogs were out. They were dog sitting for someone else, so they weren't even their dogs. But we were able to do that. So if we had his email and contact information on file in the office, it would have been pretty quick for us to get that. We do not share that information with other residents, but it is very helpful in the event of an emergency. It also helped when my neighbor down the street had a heart attack, and we happened to have had information on file where we could reach out and were able to get a hold of somebody because we knew a good number and license, so it was nice to be able to say, hey, how are things going? So, commissioners, do you have anything else? Okay, before I make a motion to adjourn, nobody has anything? Okay, I make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Good. So now that we've closed, I can say, everyone, please have a Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, a safe holiday, enjoy your family. Time is precious. Make those memories. Take lots of pictures. Be kind to one another.
And take candy canes.
And take candy canes before you leave.
Merry Christmas,
I mean,
y'all.
we do the best that we can. We're elected officials, and we all give of our time. And we do the best that we can and address the issues as they come to us.
Needs more.